billion. Even as late as September 29th, the Monday that the Dow plunged 777 points, we might try to forget, but it happened. After the originally scheduled adjournment of the Congress on September 26th, the DoD still had no news on the notifications to Congress. And finally, on October 3rd, the last day of the congressional session that was actually extended a week in order to pass the bailout package for banks during the financial crisis, President Bush finally notified Congress. However, he only submitted 6 of the 8 pending notifications for a total value of $6.5 billion, or about half of the pending total. He did not submit for congressional review pending programs for Black Hawk utility helicopters or the submarine design. We're talking about the design here. Moreover, the United States' own promoted program of Patriot missile defense Patriot missile defense programs to Taiwan was broken up into 2 pieces. This apparently arbitrary and last-minute decision-making raised concerns about adherence to the TRA and, I would add, U.S. credibility, coming even after Taiwan's legislature had budgeted the funds and Ma Ying-jeou had replaced Chengchi as president. So today, we have a mixed legacy. There have been congressional questions about violations of the TRA. Even if the Bush administration could deny that there was a freeze in arms sales, it did freeze out the Congress in decisions. It is misleading for the media and other reports to call President Bush's arms sales notified in October as a package, just because he had piled up pending programs, even in an innocuous case of spare parts. To delay notifying Congress until one day did not make them a package. Moreover, there are issues about violations of Bush's own policy of 2001 that Peter talked about, of considering Taiwan's request on an as-needed ongoing basis, of Reagan's 6 assurances, and of the premise for a long, long time that U.S. security assistance to Taiwan is stabilizing. With this mixed legacy, it is now up to the new Congress and the Obama administration to review whether we have a coherent strategy to advance U.S. interests, whether we have a policy in adherence faithfully to the TRA, and an objective process to consider programs to help Taiwan's self-defense for its own considerations. I'll stop here. Thanks.
Thanks, Shirley. Joseph?
Thank you, Randy, for inviting me back to Washington, D.C., the place where I worked for about 15 months. And I'm very glad and very honored to be invited back to address on the issue of TRA. It is 30 years, and especially the event is held in this institution where the Taiwan Relations Act was passed. And I try to speak as nonpartisan as possible, but probably know quite well in Taiwan that there's nothing like nonpartisanship anymore, but I'll try to be not as partisan as possible. But of course, it's difficult, as you can tell. And I'm now no longer have any official titles, and therefore it gives me a little bit more freedom to address on things that I feel that is important and necessary for me to talk about. Well, Taiwan is a country where we feel very proud of economically, even militarily, or the fact that we are able to achieve democratization. And in all these 3 aspects, I think the United States has played a very important role in helping Taiwan, either in the economic aspect or security aspect or political aspect. And I think it's nonpartisan in Taiwan that people feel the gratitude for the United States and on the passage of the Taiwan Relations Act to make sure that Taiwan can survive economically and politically, even militarily. We feel indebted to the Congress that passed the Taiwan Relations Act and then reaffirmed the importance of the Taiwan Relations Act again and again through resolutions. And there was a recent resolution passed by the Congress reaffirming that TRA is a cornerstone of Taiwan-U.S. relations. And Taiwan today is economically prosper, even though we have some difficulties nowadays. And we don't want to act like the European heads of state blaming on the United States. No, we don't want to do that. But Taiwan can perform quite well economically, and Taiwan can remain secured militarily, and Taiwan can achieve democracy politically. We want to express our appreciation to the United States, particularly to the Congress of the United States that helped Taiwan a lot. And I'll go through some of the things where we feel very proud of. For example, when the DPP, the political party that I used to represent, passed the political power to the new administration, the KMT administration, last May, we had around 6.3% of growth rate and about 3.8% of unemployment rate. And I think the macroeconomy looks quite well. And if you look at the specifics of Taiwan's economic output, and I think you should feel very proud of, for example, we have about 68% total output of computer chips in the world, 51% and 64% of the microchips and testing and packaging, 83% of the laptops, 73% of the PDS, and I can go on for a little while. And these products were all supported or in some sense assisted by the American technology. Many people say that Taiwan Hsinchu Science Park is a little Silicon Valley or extension of Silicon Valley. And I heard that we also have 1 out of every 5 computer engineers working in Silicon Valley are Taiwanese or Taiwanese descent. And therefore, you can see the technological exchange in between the two sides helping Taiwan's high-tech industry. And our Taiwan's exports to the United States are mostly high-tech products, and they are, of course, contamination-free and poison-free. And for a small country like Taiwan, we ranked number 9 in our trade relations with the United States. And for last year and the year before, the figure of bilateral trade is way over $60 billion, and that's quite a lot. And we also made investment in the United States. The cumulative amount is roughly $8 billion, and the United States also made the investment in Taiwan is around $14 billion. And we also have quite a large number of migrants in the United States. They also contributed to the United States, and especially its economy. And the one particular area of trade in between Taiwan and the United States we are very happy to talk about, that is agricultural trade. We buy a lot of American agricultural products. Just read you some numbers. 484 pounds of U.S. corn per person per year, 180 pounds of soybeans per person per year, and things like that. Even though we are not the largest buyer of American agricultural products. It's ranked 6th, but per capita basis, we are number 1, and I think we like that very much. And politically, Taiwan is also a democracy. Ever since 1986, when the Democratic Progressive Party was formed, the next year, martial law was lifted, and Taiwan was gradually moved into a democracy. We had the election for the parliament, we had the election for the president, and now we have election for the president for 4 times already, and we are quite proud of this achievement. And of course, during the process of Taiwan's democratization, there's a lot of American people, especially those from the Congress, continue to encourage Taiwan to reform. And we are indebted to these people who encourage Taiwan to democratize. And I think the Taiwan Relations Act also has a specific clause that states like this: nothing contained in this act shall contravene the interests of the United States in human rights. The preservation and enhancement of human rights of all people on Taiwan are hereby reaffirmed confirmed as objectives of the United States. So this is very important to us. But of course, the most important relations in between Taiwan and the United States under the Taiwan Relations Act is the security relations. And Shirley and Peter just read some of the clauses in the Taiwan Relations Act, and I shall not repeat them, but they are very important. And because of the Taiwan Relations Act on security areas, we have been able to maintain very close security links with the United States. You know, for example, historically, Taiwan has ranked number 2 in terms of buying American weapon systems. And President Bush at October of last year also promised to also send us notification to the Congress on some of the things that we have requested for a while. And a few